meeting is called to order. Please stand for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Could we have roll call, please?
Chair Holloway
Here.
and Member Rivera provided notice of his absence this evening, so he will have an excused absence for the record. Member Carney?
Here.
Member Grigsby?
Present.
Member Oquendo?
Here.
And Member Bridle also provided an excuse for his absence, so he will have an excused absence for the record. And we do have a vacancy, and that's for alternate number 2. And Ms. Rubin had put in her resignation.
Thank you.
Madam Chair, we have a quorum this evening, and I guess the approval of the minutes from the special meeting that was held on July the 6th are going to be available and put onto the agenda for our next meeting in August. So
Okay, so we have the approval of the minutes from our.
those were
Last
handled at the
month.
special, so there are no minutes on today's agenda.
We already did that, and that's correct.
correct.
Yeah. Thank you. The first item on our agenda would be DRC case number ANX 210001-2021-10. And it's a voluntary annexation.
Good evening, Melissa
evening.
Dunklin, Planning and Zoning Manager. Okay, the case before you tonight is for the OUC St. Cloud Maintenance and Operations Facility voluntary annexation for approximately 5.123 acres of land located generally south and west of the intersection of US 192 and Hickory Tree Road. This request meets the requirements for the Florida State Statute 171.044 for annexation, and it is adjacent to the city limits, and the existing future land use category is a county designation of industrial, and the existing zoning is industrial general and agricultural development and conservation, which are both county designations. This request meets the intent for the strategic plan goals for growth management and economic development. On or before February 23rd, 2021, both DRC and staff reviewed this item and recommend approval of Ordinance 2021-10. Likewise, it is requested that Planning Commission also recommend approval of Ordinance 2021-10. Can I request that we go through the concurrent land use and zoning application for this?
There are multiples?
There are multiples, or do we need to read them into the record first?
Well, we'll need to call them into the record so they're all being considered, but they can all, it's up to the chair and the commission, but they can all be taken as one item and then broken out when the commission wishes to move
Okay,
forward.
let me read the rest of them then. It's DRC case number CPA 21-00001/2021-11. Plus, and that's a future land use map amendment. And then we have DRC case PUD 21-00005/2021-12. It's PUD Planned Unit Development Zoning Map Amendment. And DRC case,
Those
A-
are, those are,
Oh, no, that's another
just those
one.
agenda
Yeah.
items A, B, and
Okay.
C are going to be presented.
okay.
Thank you. Again, Melissa Dunklin, Planning and Zoning Manager. And this is the concurrent comprehensive plan amendment application requesting to change their future land use on approximately 24.65 acres. The existing future land use is industrial and industrial with the city's designation as well, and commercial, which is a city designation. The proposed future land use is public institutional, and it is compatible with the general development pattern in the area, and there will be no adverse impacts to city facilities. This is a map of the current future land use. This request meets the intent for the strategic plan goals for growth management and economic development. On or before February 23rd, 2021, both DRC and staff reviewed this item and recommended approval of Ordinance 2021-11. Likewise, it is requested that this Planning Commission recommend approval of Ordinance 2021-11. Okay, this is the concurrent zoning map amendment request. Again, the proposed future land use is public institutional, and the existing zoning designations are agricultural development and conservation, industrial general, I-2, and highway business, which are city designations. What they're asking for is to change their zoning to a planned unit development. The proposed use is a maintenance and operations facility. The requested zoning district is compatible with the proposed future land use designation of public institutional. It is compatible with the general development pattern in the area, and there are no adverse impacts on city facilities.
Okay,
And
great.
here is a map of the current zoning. Okay, and this is a graphic representation of the overall layout of the facility, which includes warehouse, office, fleet, fueling, and parking uses. And here are the proposed elevations provided by the applicant that shows the warehouse, the fleet building, the entry plaza, and an aerial of the overall master plan. The proposed request meets the intent for growth management, for the strategic plan goals for growth management and economic development. On or before June 17th, 2021, staff reviewed this item and recommend approval of Ordinance 2021-12. Likewise, it is requested that this Planning Commission also recommend approval of Ordinance 2021-12 for this zoning map amendment. And staff is available if you have any questions, and I believe the applicant is also present here tonight and available for any questions.
Does the board have any questions to staff right now?
What
No.
is it?
So it's a maintenance facility for, an operations facility for OUC,
So
and
they're just their trucks, their.
it is their warehouse, it's an office, it's fleet, which would include their trucks, there's a fueling station, and a parking area.
Do we have the applicant here?
Good evening. Craig Zutwo, Hansel and Walter, 8 Broadway, Kissimmee. I am here representing the OUC.
Thank you.
So this is basically to get all the equipment off of by the pool and put it into another facility to,
Yes, sir.
It's not the equipment on 10th Street, is it? No, that's a school.
I don't know if it's that equipment. I just know they're relocating their equipment over to this facility. I don't know if they're moving the equipment from 10th Street or not.
So it just looks like more, bigger space, better design?
Yes.
better-
Yes, ma'am.
And with everything happening east of.
And how many trucks are they looking at parking in there?
It will be their fleet facility. I think, I don't have that information with me per se right now.
Did I
so I
see a
can't-
parking garage as part of
The
that?
ultimate design, if we go back, the one that we are showing right now was an ultimate design. Is there a pointer on this?
Or is it a-
No. The parking garage is a future phase. It is not being developed at this time right now. The parking garage would be when they do their administration buildings and stuff like that. and then that's when they'll do the parking garage. Right now, this phase is just the warehouse, the fleet building, and there will be the retention ponds, and the, as with the fuel station, the laydown yard, and temporary surface parking.
Okay. Anybody have any more questions? Do we have anybody in the audience for or against this request? No? Any other questions? If not, we're closing this for questioning, and can I have a motion?
I would
We'll have
motion,
to- Let's make sure, I'm
Motion
sorry to interrupt,
separately.
but make sure that you announce the item and the DRC case number, and then the agenda item and ordinance number for each motion, so that we keep the record clean for,
I will take a motion to recommend approval of ordinance number ANX 21-0001/2021-10, based on the 16 findings within the Land Development Code.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed? 4-0. Do you have the first and the second? Okay.
that was agenda item A.
And do we have a motion for CPA 21-00001/2021-11?
I would like to make a motion to approve ordinance number CPA 21-00001/2021-11, based on the 16 findings within the Land Development Code.
Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? 4-0. Motion for the last one?
I would like to make a motion for approval of ordinance number PUD 21-00005/2021-12, based on the 16 findings within the Land Development Code.
All in favor?
We have to
Oh,
call for a second.
Second?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? 4-0.
All three item matters are passed 4-0 approval, all right. Thank
Okay.
you.
Did you want to say something else?
No, I'm sorry, I just
Okay, okay.
summarizing on my notes. All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Next case on the agenda would be DRC case ANX 21-00005/2021-36.
And if you don't mind, could we read the next two items also?
Certainly.
They're all associated with each other.
Okay, that would be DRC case CPA 21-00009/2021-37.
One other item.
And the third one goes along with it?
Yes,
Okay.
they all go together.
DRC case CMA 21-00006/2021-38.
Okay, good evening again, Melissa Dunklin, Planning and Zoning Manager. This request before you is for the Ranch at St. Cloud voluntary annexation. The subject properties are approximately 219 acres and are generally located south of Jones Road and east of Narcousie Road. The subject properties qualify for annexation under Section 171.044 Florida State Statutes. It is contiguous and reasonably compact and adjacent to city limits. The existing future land use is low-density residential through the county, and the existing zoning is urban settlement, which is also a county designation. This request meets the intent for the strategic plan goals for growth management, economic development, and public service. On or before June 1st, 2021, staff and DRC reviewed this request and recommend approval of Ordinance 2021-36 As such, it is requested that this Planning Commission recommend approval of Ordinance 2021-36. This is the concurrent comprehensive plan amendment for the ranch at St. Cloud. And this is approximately 219 acres and the same location. The existing future land use is low-density residential, and the proposed future land use is park open space. It is compatible with the general development pattern in the area, and there will be no adverse impacts on city facilities. Here is a map showing the current land use designation. This request meets the intent for the strategic plan goals for growth management, economic development, and public service. On or before June 1st, 2021, staff and DRC reviewed this application request and recommended approval of Ordinance 2021-37. It is requested that this Planning Commission also recommend approval of Ordinance 2021-37, and also recommend that this item be transmitted to DEO for interagency review. I'm sorry, I can't seem to speak tonight.
That's okay.
Okay, and finally, we have the concurrent zoning map amendment for the same properties. The proposed future land use, again, is park open space, and the requested zoning for open space and recreation is compatible with that proposed future land use request. The proposed use is for a city park, and it is compatible with the general development pattern in the area, and there will be no adverse impacts on city facilities. This is a map of the current zoning. This request meets the intent for the strategic plan goals for growth management, economic development, and public service. On or before June 1st, 2021, staff reviewed this request and recommended approval of ordinance number 2021-38. Likewise, we are requesting that this Planning Commission recommend approval of ordinance 2021-38.
Thank you.
And staff is available for any questions. The applicant is not present here
The
tonight,
applicant is not present. Okay.
which would be the city, but it's our Parks and Rec department.
Is this part of the original ranch that's already been proposed to us that has been brought in front of us, the development that's coming there?
Are you talking the Center Lake Range?
Center Lake Ranch?
No, this
It's
is
next.
north. Here, let me go back to the
They're
map.
next to it, I believe.
The pink area there is Center Lake Ranch, so
Okay.
this
It'll be
is
adjacent?
north of that, adjacent to it. It was formerly known as the Hastings Ranch.
Okay.
Has
Now-
anybody done a traffic study out there?
No, there's been no traffic study.
Now, the park, what are we planning on putting in there? Is it just gonna stay woods, or do we put trails in there, or what are we doing with that park?
Gazebos, all that stuff?
Okay, I will have Erin, she spoke to the applicant, so she has a little bit more information on what they're planning. So we'll call her up here, Erin Stuck, our principal planner.
Very good, thank you. Hello, Erin.
Commissioners, hi, nice to meet you all. Erin Sturck, Principal Planner with the Community Development Department. The Parks Department purchased this property earlier this year. It was a ranch that previously hosted events and weddings at it, and they intend to continue to do that. One of the reasons why a traffic study was not requested for this particular application is because we felt like it was a reduction of impact on the transportation facilities, because the future land use designation previously in the county was low-density residential, and that would have produced more trips had this been subdivided and developed similarly to a lot of the properties in the area. So because this was a reduction, we did not ask that they measure that impact, but we did attest that the impact was less than what was previously zoned and future
So we
land
did,
use.
having had the weddings and other events there, so the facilities are already there? We don't have to
They have a couple of structures in which they host the events, and they do some events outside now, is my understanding. The Parks Department will be updating their Parks Master Plan to incorporate this site into it, and then to plan through that process, which will have, you know, meetings and public engagement involved when they develop their plans for the future for the property. But that is the next step after this, they receive county zoning, or city zoning and city future land use designation.
It's
So
on a
it'll be a
set-
profit center for the city because, well, Hastings Ranch was ranked like equal with Disney a few years ago for its weddings facility and so the city bought it and it can be hopefully a producer of income for the city then.
Yeah, hopefully,
That's excellent.
and hopefully less impact on the other facilities that a lot of the surrounding subdivisions are
Gives another
needing,
option.
so.
You know, that everybody was
Feel like
complaining
it's a-
about that they was gonna have enough open spaces out there because of all the building.
Right, so this definitely increases the level of service for the parks facilities.
Okay. Any other questions?
I'm good. Any questions?
We close this portion of the meeting?
Just would ask for some public comment,
No
public comment.
public comment?
have to on the record.
Okay,
Just have
very
to.
good.
Just have to.
Do we have a motion?
Ooh, I would like to happily make a motion to recommend approval of ordinance number 2021-36, case ANX 21-00005, based on the 16 findings within the land use code.
Okay, could we have a second?
I'll second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed? 4-0. Next case?
I'd like to make a motion to recommend approval of ordinance number 2021-37, CPA 21-000009, based on the 16 findings within the Land Development Code.
I think on
I'll
this one
second
also, I think on this one, they also want to include and to transmit to DEO State
Yeah.
of Florida on this.
So what do you want me to say?
Just,
You can just include that in your motion, and to transmit to Florida Department, is it DEO? Of Economic Opportunity,
Okay.
is it not?
Go ahead.
As part of your motion.
I'm not sure where to find that. Where am I
Okay.
saying the future?
And to
The
transmit.
request
And to
from,
transmit
yes, to
and
transmit
to transmit,
to
that's
the
good.
Department of
to the
Economic
Department of Economic
Opportunity.
Opportunity.
Correct.
Thank you.
For the city request.
Do we have a second?
I
I'll
will
second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? 4-0. Next one?
One more. I'd like to happily make a motion to recommend approval of ordinance number 2021-38, DRC case ZMA 21-00006, based on the 16 findings within the Land Development Code.
Do we have a second?
I will second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed? 4-0.
Great. Nice job.
Short and sweet.
Josie, you wanna comment?
And
Do we
then,
have anything else?
our next meeting will be August 17th, here in the council chambers at 6 PM.
Okay, thank you very much. That does it, I think. This meeting is adjourned. Thank you.